The Waves Curves AQ plugin allows you to mix in minutes. You can throw it on a track, it's going to listen to it, and based on what it hears, it's going to give you 5 different options that you can choose between. Once you choose that, you can decide to dial it in and really make it your own, or just use it as is. It does a really good job just the way it is. So let's dive in and check it out. So here's a project that I'm working on right now. I don't have any plugins loaded on there other than my drum instrument plugin. It's Easy Drummer 3. That's the only plugin loaded in here. And this is what it sounds like without anything on there. Okay, so I've done the static mix. I've got my levels and my panning pretty much where I want it. Now I just got to get into mixing. So what I'm going to do is load up my Waves Curves AQ, and when I'm working with something like the drums, I might want to go in here, click on this, go to drums, and this is an acoustic drum set, so I'll click on that. And this way it tells Curves AQ what it's listening to, because something like drums, it could be overheads, room mics, all different types of things. So with drums, I like to set it up like that. And then the next thing we have to do is click on Learn and play our track. All right, it's given us our 5 options to choose from. I'm just going to put this on solo, but ideally you're probably going to want to choose these while you're listening to the entire mix, just so you can hear how it's going to fit in with the rest of the mix. But I just want to show you the differences between these here. And Waves say that these aren't presets. These options here are specific to the track that it listens to. So it listens to your track and it comes up with some results that it thinks will fit it best. So let's just go through these and hear what they sound like. So I kind of like this first one right here, but I do want to bring up some more of the highs. And you can see there's these different colors here. So blue is your attenuated frequencies and the red is boosted. And what I could do here is I could just decrease the amount of blue. So you can see that goes up, but that's doing it for all of the blue, even the stuff down here. So what I might want to do is I can go here, and you'll notice it highlights the frequencies here. I can just click and drag this up, and then it's going to do less attenuation of my highs. So let's give this a listen now. All right, that's not too bad right there. And I don't have anything on the individual drums. Normally I would go through, and I could do that with this. I could go through each of my drums and all the overheads and stuff, but I just want to mix in minutes here with the Curves AQ. Let's move on to our next track, which is our bass. So I will just add it onto the bass here. All right, and this time I'm not going to select what this is. I'm just going to see if it can figure out what it's listening to. So I'm going to click on Learn. All right, so it's figured out this is a bass guitar. That's great, and it's given us our options here. So let's listen to our options. All right, I don't mind this one right here. I might want to bring this area up just a little bit. So I can actually just close down these options here by clicking this. And when I hover over the different bands, it gives me some options here. So I'm just going to click and drag that up a little bit so there's less attenuation there. We'll hear how this sounds. All right, that's not bad. It really tidies it up, and let's just hear what it sounds like with our drum kit. I might want to bring some of these highs back into it just a little bit. So I'm just going to see, we'll choose here again, and we'll bring that up just a little bit. Yeah, I don't mind that right there. So we've got our bass and our drum kit done. Let's move on to our guitars. All right, here we go. We've got it loaded up on the guitar bus, and I have 2 electric guitars in here. So we're going to be processing both of those. And again, I'm going to start it without telling it what it is, just to see if it can identify it. We'll click Learn. All right, it's discovered that this is an overdriven guitar. That's great, and it's given us some options. Let's give it a listen. All right, I think I like that one right there. Let's listen to it in the mix with the other stuff. All right, so I don't mind that one, but I do want to bring up some of those highs a little bit in there. This is kind of an indie rock song, so I do want those highs a little bit brighter. And again, I'll just click here, and I'll bring that up just a little bit. We'll listen to that. All right, that's pretty cool. I've got one more track in here, which is like a lead guitar type thing. We'll add it on there, and then I want to try it out on our mix. So on our master track or Mixbus. So let's just put another instance here, hit Learn. And again, it sensed that this was an overdriven guitar, so let's just listen to these and hear what we like best. I kind of like that one right there because I want this to sit more in behind, and that kind of takes care of that. And now we have all of this stuff done, and we can try it out on our Mixbus, but there's one thing I want to do first, and if we listen, you can hear the kick drum in there, but it's not really poking through too well. So let's go to our Curves AQ that's on our bass, and you can see this section here called Mixsense, and this allows us to keep what we've got here, but also bring in a sidechain, and we can dial in how much of the sidechain we want to mix in. So I'll click on my sidechain here, and I want to go to kick, and then I just want to dial this up a bit. So I'm going to actually just solo, I'm going to solo the bass and the drums. So you can hear when I turn Mixsense off, the kick drum, you can still hear it, but it's kind of blending in with the low frequencies from the bass guitar. So let's just listen to it on and off again. It just gives it a little more definition. So let's listen to this all together again. And I'm going to turn all of these on and off as we listen. All right, not too bad. And if I wasn't talking about this, it would have taken me just minutes to set this up. Now let's add it on to our Mixbus and just see what that's like. And you can see there's an option for mix. So we're going to want to click on that, click learn. All right, and it's given us a few different options in here. We have house, EDM, alternative, and grunge, which really isn't what we want. I'm going to go to the rock section here, and I'm going to put indie, and I'll click relearn. All right, that's more like it. So we have some indie options and some alternative stuff here. And I've done this on other tracks. There's grunge in there and just rock, all kinds of different things. You can see in here all the different options. So let's just listen to what it's come up with for this track. I kind of like this one, but I don't like how the frequencies are all kind of dancing. So what I might want to do here is just bring the static over, which makes this a little more static. So when this is in the middle, it's at 100% dynamic and 100% static. We can bring this over, and if I bring it all the way over, then it's 100% static. And maybe I want that on my entire mix, or maybe I just dial it back a bit. I could also adjust the intensity of all of this by using this main control in the center here. All right, I've just added dynamic EQ to all of my tracks here, and it would have taken just minutes. Let's again listen to it on and off. Not too bad for just a few minutes worth of work. Of course, there is some things I'm hearing in there that I want to go in and just adjust, but that's going to take, again, just a couple of minutes to adjust things. It instantly gets you in the ballpark of where you want to be, and then you just adjust as needed. Of course, you can add all of your other creative plugins and your compression and all of that stuff, but if we're just going from EQ and a bit of dynamics, then we could mix this track in minutes using the Curves AQ from Waves. And this is the second plugin in the Waves Curves series. If you want to check out the first plugin, click the video on the screen right there. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thank you so much for watching. For Audio Tech TV, I'm Zane. Keep creating. Fist bump. Thumbs up.